to leave x alone, therefore let's multiply each side by 3 over 2, so that these 3's and these 2's cancel out, and we have 4x minus 1 is equal to 15 over 2. Now let's add 1 to each side. Now what we have is 4x is equal to 15 over 2. This one we could say is equal to 2 over 2. So what we have here is 17 over 2. Now let's divide each side by 4. So what we have here is x alone, and this is equal to 17 over 2 times 4. That is equal to 17 over 8. Start with expanding parentheses. So what we have is minus 8x minus 12 is equal to 3x plus 10. In order to keep x's at one side, let's add 8x to each side. So these cancel each other out, and what I have here is minus 12 is equal to 11x plus 10. Now I need to get rid of this plus 10, so I just subtract my 10 from each side. So what I have is minus 22 is equal to 11x. Now I divide each side by 11, so I get rid of these 11's too. X is equal to minus 2. Let's start with expanding the parentheses. So what we have is 0.8 m minus 0.6 m minus 15 is equal to minus 0.3 m minus 10. This is equal to actually 0.2 m minus 15 is equal to minus 0.3 m minus 10. Now let's add 0.3 m to each side, so that these cancel each other out, and what I have here is 0.5 m minus 15 is equal to minus 10. What I need to do now is to get rid of this minus 15, so what I need to do is to add 15 to each side. These are gone now, so 0.5 m is equal to plus now 5. What I need to do is to get rid of this 0.5, so I just multiply each side by 2, so this becomes 1. M is equal to 5 times 2, that is 10. In order to leave x alone, let's add 4 to each side. So what we have here is 3x over 7 is equal to 12. Now what we need to do is to multiply each side by 7 over 3, which is the reverse of the coefficient of the x, times 7 over 3. So these 7's and these 3's will cancel each other out, and I will leave x alone. And here what we have is 3 will simplify 12 as 4. So what we have as a result is 4 times 7, that is 28. Let me add 4 square n to each side. So what I have here is only 16, and what I have here is 6 square n plus 4 square n minus 4. 6 square is equal to 36, so this is 36n plus 4 square is equal to 16, that is 16n minus 4 is equal to 16. Now let's add 4 to each side. So what I have is 36 plus 16 is equal to 52n. Now it is equal to 20. Therefore, when I divide each side by 52, n will be equal to 20 over 52. Or when I simplify this by 4, what I have is, this is going to be 5. 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5, and 52 divided by 5 is equal to 4 is equal to 13. Let's expand the parentheses first. What we have here is 4x minus 12 is equal to 9 minus 3x. Now let's add 3x to each side, so that we get rid of the x's at the right hand side. This will be gone. What I have here is 9, and what I have here is 7x minus 12. So let's get rid of this 12 too. So we add 12 to each side. Now what I have is 7x is equal to 21. When I divide each side by 7, x will be equal to 3. Let's multiply each side by 3. So these 3's will cancel out, and I have n plus 6 is equal to 12. When I subtract 6 from each side, minus 6, n will be equal to 12 minus 6, that is equal to 6. Let's multiply each side by 3 over 2. So these 3's and these 2's cancel out, and I have x minus 5 here, which will be equal to, this will cancel out with this. This is going to be 2, so what I have is 2 times 3 is equal to 6, 6 over 5. Now let's add 5 to each side, plus 5. So what I have is 6. 5 actually is equal to 5 over 1, so when I expand by 5, this is going to be 25 over 5. That is equal to 25 plus 6 is equal to 31. So my answer is 31 over 5. 31 over 5 could be written as 7.22. Let's multiply each side by 4 and 3, so that these 3's would cancel out and these 4's would also cancel each other out. And what I have here is 4 times x minus 3 is equal to 3 times x plus 4. Let me expand the parentheses now. What I have is 4x minus 12 is equal to 3x plus 12. When I subtract 3x from each side, what I have is 4x minus 3x, that is x only. X minus 12 is equal to 12. Now let's add 12 to each side. So x is left alone. That is equal to 24. Let's multiply each side by 3. So these 3's cancel each other out. What I have is 0.7n plus 2 is equal to 3 over 4. Now I need to get rid of this 2, so I just subtract 2 from each side. What I have here is 0.7n, and at the other side what I have is, when I expand this 2 by 4, sorry, this is going to be 8. So what I will have is 3 minus 8 over 4, that is minus 5 over 4. What I need to do is now to divide each side by 0.7. So this is going to be times 0.7. N is equal to minus 5 over 2.8. Or when I expand this by 5 too, what I have is going to be minus 25 over 14. Let's start with expanding the parentheses. This is going to be 3m plus 10 is equal to 0.4 m plus 6. Now let's subtract 0.4 m from each side. So what I have is 2.6 m here plus 10 is equal to, these will cancel each other out, 6. Now when I subtract 10 from each side, 2.6 m is equal to minus 4. Now let's divide each side by 2.6. So what I have is m is equal to minus 4 over 2.6. Or you could expand by 10 minus 40 over 26. Then I simplify by 2. This is equal to minus, this is going to be 13, this is going to be 20, minus 20 over 13. Let's expand the parentheses. What we have here is 10 plus 6x is equal to 6x plus 12. When I subtract 6x from each side, what I have is 10 is equal to 12, which is not possible. Therefore, there's no solution for this question.